Jai Jagannath. In this episode, today I will discuss verse 1 to 20 of chapter 1 of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which would enable us to make a critical analysis of the character of Duryodhana, a man of our kinds. We will see the predicament of Duryodhana, who finds himself hopelessly caged against the truth. In spite of having a larger army and far more experienced warriors, Duryodhana, after seeing the armies of the Pandavas arrayed in battle formation against the Kauravas, was full of anxiety and found himself in a state of mental turmoil. Immediately he approached Guru Drona and started counting the names of the stalwarts of the Pandava side. Although Guru Drona was in know of all the warriors who happened to be his disciples, Duryodhana could feel that there is absence of a central theme combining the Kauravas. All the stalwarts are gathered for their own miscellaneous reasons. Pitamaha Bhishma is there, who has to keep his vow. Guru Drona and Kripacharya belong to the court, and their loyalty to the state was inexorably tight. 100 brothers are there because the eldest one of them ordered to do so. Karn, which is not there but will come later on, has to repay an old debt, whereas the Pandavas are united with only the central feeling that we have been wronged, which needs to be righted. That's why we have to fight down the Kauravas. Krishna states for that centrality. The ordinary mind is beset with greed, anger, jealousy, illusion, whereas in the side of Dharma there is absolute silence. Only truth prevails. Duryodhana goes to the extent of saying to Guru Drona that in spite of we being having a larger army, though our side look insufficient, aparyapt, whereas the side of the Pandava look sufficient, paryapt. If he could feel that the side of the Pandava is more efficient than his side, then he must be sensing an impending doom. In a moment of epiphany, reality struck him when he could realize that he has committed series of irreversible blunders. The picture of the day when both he and Arjun had gone to see Krishna to seek his favor loomed large before him. So far as formal relationship and access to Krishna are concerned, both Duryodhana and Arjun stand on the same footing. Though Duryodhana had all the opportunity of having Krishna to his side, still then he was elated when he got Krishna's Narayani army instead of Krishna himself. He was even much more delighted when he could know that Krishna is not going to pick up arms in the battlefield. Thereby, he valued material higher than the value of consciousness, which most of us do. This is the nature of the reality of life. Often it shows up in an unexpected way when the weight of facts gets more, the pretenses get collapsed, and reality comes to the forefront. Duryodhana has taken repeated misjudgments for which now it has become practically impossible to get himself rid of all his wrongdoings, and for which he even lost the opportunity of getting Krishna to his side. Just before the start of the war, both the principal warriors, Duryodhana and Arjun, got extremely nervous. Duryodhana, when bewildered, confused, approached Guru Drona, who didn't utter a single word. Arjun, being in the same position, full of sorrow and got deluded, approached Sri Krishna, and Srimad Bhagavad Gita was the outcome which ultimately made all the difference in the battlefield. Elsewhere in Gita, Krishna says, "You choose either me or my Maya." Most of us choose Maya, so did Duryodhana. The more we rush after Maya, get ourselves entangled, involved, embroiled in it, we will be forced to remember Krishna more, because after all, it is his Maya. But by that time, it will be too late, and we may be in the evening of our life. Therefore, it is imperative to go to Krishna as early as possible, like Arjun. Now coming to the text, I would like to say four factions speak in Srimad Bhagavad Gita: King Dhritarashtra, his private secretary Sanjaya, Arjun, and Krishna himself. Sanjaya was blessed with a special kind of sight in order to communicate the happenings in the battlefield to Dhritarashtra, who was unable to see both literally and metaphorically, and was seated at a place which was fairly, geographically rather, at a much distance from the battlefield. Srimad Bhagavad Gita opens with a query from King Dhritarashtra, which is the only verse told by the king. Dhritarashtra uvacha dharmakhetre kurukshetre samaveta yoshavaha mamakaha pandavaschaiva kimakurbata Sanjaya. O Sanjaya, tell me, assembled at Dharmakhetra Kurukshetra, all ready to fight, what my sons and the sons of Pandu, that is the Pandavas, are doing. In verse 3, Duryodhana taunted Guru Drona by saying that how indiscreet you have been to teach Drushtadumna, the son of King Drupat, who is now ready to kill you. From verse 4 to 6, Duryodhana started glorifying the armies of the Pandavas by using various epithets. Verse 4 runs, Atra Sura Maheshwasa Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi Yuddhano Viratascha Drupadascha Maharatha. Atra Sura Maheshwasa, here are all the mighty heroic bowmen, Bhima Arjuna Samayudhi, who are equal to Bhima and Arjuna in their capability to fight. Then he named three valiant warriors of his side, that is Yuddhanu, King Virat, King Drupad, whom he described as Maharathas. Legend says that a Maharathi is capable of fighting with 10,000 opponents at a time single-handedly. Then he proceeded to declare the names of other Pandavas, that is the valiant Drishtaketu, Kitanaha, king of Kashi, Kashiraja, and thereafter he proceeded to declare Yuddhamanyu as Vikranta, the mighty heroic man, and also referred to Saubhatra, son of Subhadra, that is Abhimanyu, and the Draupadascha, that is the five sons of Draupadi, and Scha referred to other Pandavas, which referred to Ghatotkoch, etc. Thereafter, from verse 7 to 9, he proceeded to glorify his own army in order to stimulate, prop up energy in them to fight against the Pandavas. He named valiant warriors like Guru Drona, Pitamaha Bhisma, Karna, Kripacharya, Ashwathama, and Vikarna. And thereafter he proceeded to say in verse 9 that all these valiant warriors are prepared to give up their life for me. Madathe tyakta jivitaha. What for you are so unsure? For what you are so unsure, getting nervous at this juncture? Why they are prepared to sacrifice life for yourself, and why not to kill and earn victory for yourself? It shows that since Duryodhana stood on the side of adharma, injustice, this type of psychic strife struck him. At present, nobody is pressurizing Duryodhana to realize his follies. Rather, it is his own insight that is maddening him. Verse 10 runs, Aparyaptam tadaspakam balam bhisma bhirakhitam Paryaptam to idametesham balam bhima bhirakhitam. Aparyaptam tadaspakam, our sight being protected by the mighty Bhisma still look insufficient, aparyapt, and the side of the Pandavas being protected by the less capable Bhima still looks sufficient, paryapt. Why such things have happened? Because Dharma is on the side of the Pandavas. Man to man, Kauravas are superior to the Pandavas. But here, what happened? Any big number being multiplied by 0 gets reduced to 0. Here, the Pandavas look superior because Krishna on their side, because the place value is of paramount importance. Verse 11 Duryodhana ordered all his soldiers, come, let us protect Bhishma from all sides. Why he needs Bhishma to be protected from all sides? Who is known as the destroyer, the slayer in chief of the Kaurava side. It is just like imploring a lot of gunmen to protect your best tank. In verse 12, Bhishma, without waiting further, blew his conch, which sounded like the roar of a lion, and that gave solace to the heart of Duryodhana. In verse 13, all the drums, trumpets, horn blared forth from the Kaurava side, which created tremendous noise all over. In verse 14, Krishna and Arjun appeared with a divine chariot, that is Kapidwaja, gifted by fire god Agni, with Hanuman seated on the flag. In verse 15, in response to the conchs of the Kaurava side, Krishna blew his conch named Panchajanya, and thereafter Duryodhana blew his conch named Devadatta. Thereafter all the valiant Kaurava warriors blew their conches one after another, and the series of conches that were blown created a tumultuous sound which had resounded both over sky and earth and had a shattering effect on the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. In verse 20, Arjun got ready to shoot his first arrow and saw the sons of Dhritarashtra. From verse 21 to 46, I have already discussed in my last videos, that is 3, 4, 5. Everybody should try for the furtherance of Dharma. Dharma means internal peace and no civil war within. But here what happened? To Bhishma, his vow, the loyalty to the throne, was bigger than the truth. To Duryodhana, his throne, the toy, was bigger than the truth. And to Karna, his loyalty, allegiance, was bigger than the truth. As a result of which, when all of them appeared on the battlefield and saw Krishna, the pillar of Dharma, on the other side, all their falsenesses crumbled, and a moment of extraordinary clarity flashed before them when they could see the impending disaster and death dancing in front of their eyes. Duryodhana had become so audacious that he could even went to the extent of declaring the absolute as fraud and proceeded to fight him down. At this juncture, if Krishna would approach Duryodhana, then he would not fall at his feet. Rather, he would go more insane. He did not get obsessed with ego so much that one day it becomes impossible for truth to redeem us. Do not oppose to the truth for so long and with so much of determination that one day it becomes practically impossible for you to retrace your steps. Going astray, diverted, distracted for a while is pardonable. Truth is also within you, and it will demonstrate to you that you are on the wrong side. But falseness is always lovable to all. Your proximity with it blurs your vision. In case you get yourself misplaced with respect to the truth in such a manner that you go on providing a justification for whatever you do and go on avoiding truth as if you are on a death wish, then violation of Dharma would become an addiction with you. At this point, nobody would come to your rescue, and you will be left staring at the truth, as happened in case of Duryodhana. Here we come to the closure of the first chapter of Gita. I have discussed in detail all the 46 verses with their internal meaning replete in them. By spending only half an hour of your time, you can have a grip of the first chapter of Gita. So please like, share and subscribe. Thanking all. Jai Jagannath.